What is the mass of 8.21 moles of potassium? Again, we go to our trusty periodic table. We find that the molar mass of potassium is 39.10 grams per mole. And we convert 8.21 moles of potassium times 39.10 grams divided by 1 mole gives us 321 grams of potassium. So again, whenever you convert between grams and moles, you need your periodic table. You're going to need the atomic masses for the elements. Converting between moles and molecules, it's always 1 mole of something is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd of something. So when you're converting between moles and a number, you always use 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. When you're converting between grams and moles, you need the periodic table. How many hydrogen atoms are in 1 mole of hydrogen molecules? This is important to read the actual question because hydrogen molecules are different than hydrogen atoms. An atom of hydrogen is 1 atom of hydrogen. A molecule is H2. It has 2 atoms of hydrogen, so there will be 1 additional step. So we'll have 1 mole of hydrogen times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules per mole. Now we have molecules of H2, but they want atoms. So again, if you have 5 motorcycles, you have 10 tires, because each motorcycle has 2 tires. And so here, we convert molecules of hydrogen to atoms of hydrogen by realizing that there are actually 2 atoms of hydrogen in every molecule of hydrogen. How many sulfur atoms are in 2.27 moles of sulfur molecules? Well, the important thing to realize here is 1 molecule of sulfur contains 8 atoms. It's one of the polyatomic molecules. And the answer in the PowerPoint is actually a typo because they start with 1 mole. That is incorrect. You should start with 2.27 because up here they gave you 2.27 moles. So this is a mistake in the PowerPoint. So we should have 2.27 moles of sulfur times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules of sulfur per mole times 8 atoms in 1 molecule. So we converted moles to molecules and then molecules to atoms. And so if we run the new numbers, we will have 2.27 times 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd times 8. And that'll give us 1.09 times 10 to the 25th. So just take that final answer times 2.27 and you'll get the right answer. Much like an element, the molar mass can be defined for a compound. When we had an element, it was easier. We just found that element on the periodic table and looked at the atomic mass. To get the molar mass for a compound, we must add up the atomic masses for all of the atoms in the compound. And if you have 2 of something, you have to account for both of them. If you have 3 of something, you have to account for 3 of them. So to find the molar mass of water, water is H2O, hydrogen and oxygen. 1 mole of water will be 18.02 grams, because 1 mole of water consists of 1 mole of oxygen and 2 moles of hydrogen, because each water is H2O. And so to find the molar mass of water, we have to add up the molar mass of an oxygen plus 2 molar masses of hydrogen for the H2 to get 18.02 grams per mole. So again, you'll use your trusty periodic table. It's just an extra step. For aluminum hydroxide, we have an aluminum, 3 oxygens, and 3 hydrogens. So we have to add them all up. The aluminum, the 3 oxygens, 3 times 16, plus the 3 hydrogens, 3 times 1.008, to give us our answer. The molar mass of a compound contains Avogadro's number of formula units or molecules. So again, 1 mole of something is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. So how many moles of sodium chloride are there in 253 grams of sodium chloride? Well, we have to find the molar mass of sodium chloride. Sodium chloride has a sodium and a chlorine. So we add up the molar masses of sodium and chlorine to get 58.44 grams. And we multiply our 253 grams times 1 mole per 50 divided by 58.44 grams to give us 4.33 moles of sodium chloride. So again, this is just like what we were doing before, except instead of just reading off the molar mass from the periodic table, we have to add up the atomic masses of the atoms in the molecule to find the molar mass of the molecule. So how many moles of titanium 4 chloride are there in 12.5 grams of titanium 4 chloride? Well, to find the molar mass of titanium 4 chloride, so I add up the mass of a titanium and then 4 chlorines. And I get 189.7 grams per mole. And then we convert. We get 0.0659 moles of titanium 4 chloride. So it's just like before, except now you have to find the molar mass of the compound because the periodic table only gives you the atomic masses for each atom. And when you have molecules, you have to add up the atomic masses of the atoms in the molecule to get the molar mass of the molecule. What is the mass of 3.45 moles of lithium oxide? Well, we have to find the molar mass of lithium oxide, Li2O. You have to add up 2 lithiums and 1 oxygen to get 29.88 grams per mole. And now we convert. 3.45 moles of lithium oxide times 29.88 grams per mole gives us 103 grams of lithium oxide. What is the mass of 1.23 moles of pH3? We first have to find the molar mass of phosphine, pH3. So you add up a phosphorus and 3 hydrogens to get 33.99 grams per mole. And now we times 1.23 moles times the 33.99 grams per mole, and we get 41.8 grams of phosphine. How many molecules of hydrogen sulfide are present in 7.53 grams of hydrogen sulfide? And how many atoms of hydrogen are present in the sample? They're asking quite a few questions here. So first, we have to find the molar mass of H2S. So we add up 2 hydrogens and a sulfur, because it's H2S. There are 2 hydrogens and a sulfur in a hydrogen sulfide. And we get 34.09 grams per mole. And now I convert grams of hydrogen sulfide into moles, and then moles into molecules, and I get my first answer. But then they ask how many atoms of hydrogen are present. And there are 2 atoms of hydrogen in every molecule of H2S. So one more step, multiplying our molecules by 2, because there are 2 atoms of hydrogen in every hydrogen sulfide. And I get 2.66 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. Just like if you have 4 motorcycles, you have 8 tires, because each motorcycle has 2 tires. How many molecules of hydrogen peroxide are there in 0.759 grams of the compound? Well, we convert grams into moles. How? You find the molar mass of hydrogen peroxide, H2O2. We add up 2 hydrogens and 2 oxygens to get 34.02 grams per mole. And then we convert grams into moles, into molecules, 1.34 times 10 to the 22nd molecules of hydrogen peroxide.